We continue another incredible day of Mesilas Yesharim Yomi with the wonderful Hachzik program. We're holding on page 218 in the Artscroll Mesilas Yesharim, continuing the 11th chapter, the chapter about Nikiyos. And today we begin with Nikiyos, cleanliness, learning how careful we have to be about Sheker. Says the Mesilas Yesharim v'hinei dvar sheker. Now with regard to Sheker, Kamu choyli ra, says the Ramchal, you know what Sheker is? It's a terrible choyli, it's an ailment. Nispashet me'oid b'bnei adam. That's very widespread amongst people. The truth is, we should stop right here and just repeat this statement again and again and again, that what is Sheker? It's a terrible ailment that's very widespread amongst people. V'lo madrigas madrigas yeshlo. But says the Ramchal, there are different levels. Yesh b'nei adam sha'u menasad mamishu b'shakranos. Such poetic words. There are those whose profession, they are professional, pathological, we'll call them, liars. They're the ones who constantly create these crazy, fabricated stories from their imagination. Why? Just to talk. They want to be popular. They want to hang out with people. Or because they want to sound very wise and knowledgeable. So they're doing that as well. About such people in Mishlei it says, false lips are an abomination to Hashem. Similarly, it says that your lips speak falsehood, your tongues utter wickedness. Says the Gemara in Saita, Arba kitas eina mikabel and b'nei hashchina. Terrible. 4 groups are not mikabel the Shechina in the world to come. And what is one of them? Kat shakranim. One of them is the group of liars. Absolutely shreklach. And continues the Ramchal. There's another type of liars. Who are close to the first group. They're not that bad. These are the ones that make up details in their stories and their conversations. I know. These aren't people that lie, and their whole profession and their whole daily whatnot is to lie. To create and concoct stories that never happened. That's not this category. The next category is they don't create stories. But when they start talking, when they start telling a story, they spice it with some details of falsehood, whatever comes to their mind, and they accustom themselves to this practice. Until it becomes natural. As they talk, it just almost naturally pops in all these random details. And these are the people, you just can't believe a word that they say. This is the punishment. This itself is the punishment. That what? The boy who cried wolf. Their own punishment is that when they say emes, no one believes them. Because this evil has been sunken into them. They can't get clean words out of their mouth. This is what the Navi Yirmiyahu was mitzayir when he said, they train their tongues to speak falsehood as if it's striving, as if they want to be crooked. And now category number 3 of liars. Their sickness is not so bad. They only have a mild case of shakranos. They're not so ingrained in falsehood. But nevertheless, they don't distance themselves from sheker. And if something pops in their mind, then they'll say it. Sometimes they'll say it in jest. They don't have such evil intentions. Finally, concludes the Ramchal for today that the first 2 groups, we know that they're so terrible. But the last group, it doesn't sound so bad. It sounds like he's a good guy, and sometimes he just gets carried away. The wise of all men have taught us, all of this is the opposite of the desire of Hashem, and the trait of his pious one, the righteous person hates a false word, and this is the pasuk in Shemais, midvar sheker tirchak. You have to be very far from a false word. V'tir shlomer misheker tishamer. It doesn't say to beware of falsehood. Ela midvar sheker tirchak lahoyraisanu, to awaken and to arouse us to understand alaherchik agadol va'abricha rabba, how far away we have to run away. Shetzarch levroich mezeh, that we have to do from sheker. And finally, ukvar nemar, to end on a positive note, says the Navi Svanya, Sheirz Yisrael yasu avli dabru chazvli yimotzu b'piyam lashon tarmis. Excuse me, that's not a positive note. That now he's going to continue tomorrow discussing the flip side, which will be MS, and we'll pick it up from here. B'siyata dishmaya.